Good afternoon, all of you once again. Today we are here to have another topic. Today we are going to start a very interesting topic from writing section. The name of this topic is email writing. What is the full form of email? Electronic mail. You all are familiar. You all are familiar with this term. This is a very common means of communication these days. Children, when we talk about writing section, whatever we do in writing section, whether we talk about notice writing, message writing, article writing, report writing, pressy writing, email writing, or any other topic which is included in writing section, you will see one thing that all are the means of written communication. All means of communication. We can communicate writing whatever we are covering now, whatever we have done in the previous class, all are written means of communication. Similarly, this email is also a written means of communication. These days, this type of communication, that is email writing, it has become one of the quickest means of communication. With a fraction of second, you send.
Sir, your voice is disconnecting.
People used to write letters to each other. They used to post those letters. They used to go to the post office and post those letters. But it used to take a lot of time. Similarly, telegram was also a very popular means of communication many years ago. But now the telegram is not in use. These days, so many modern things have taken the place of the earlier means of communication. Telegram is gone, letter is not there. Instead of this, we have SMS, we have emails, and other means are there which can be sent to the receiver very quickly. But one thing is there in email writing, as I have told you, this is electronic mail. It means we need some medium to send this message, to send this email. And what is that medium? That medium is internet. Internet should be there on both the sides, on the side of the sender and on the side of the receiver also. Then only the communication will be complete. If the internet is available on only one side, then the communication will not be complete. How the communication is complete? To complete the process of communication, a message is sent by the sender to the receiver. And how the message is sent? Through a medium. Here the medium is internet, receiver is the person who is receiving the message, and sender is the person who is sending the message. So three things are involved in the process of communication. If something is missing, then the process of communication is not complete. So email writing, this is the quickest means of communication. Children, these days, if you talk about business world, if you talk about education, if you talk about transportation, there are so many areas where email is used. Earlier, the letters were sent from one office to the other. Now these things are not there. Now all the correspondence is done by email, from one office to another, from one industry to another, from one school to another. Everywhere the main what you say source of communication, the main medium of communication is email only. uh, this is the meaning of email. I hope the definition of email is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Children, in today's lecture, we will talk about the definition of email that we have already done. Then we'll talk about the advantages of email. Third thing, disadvantages of email. Then fourth thing, we'll see what are the main things which are to be kept in mind while drafting or writing an email. Then next thing we are going to discuss today is the format of email writing. What is actually the format of email writing? And after that, we'll do one example. We'll do one question with answer, so that the points which we do in the format of email writing, those points can be applicable in reality. Let's start with the advantages of email. What are the different advantages of email? Children, the first advantage is that email gets delivered to the person directly in his email box. Suppose you are sending a letter, you will have to go to the post office, then the postman will take the letter to the other person, or maybe it's possible that the family members or maybe somebody else gets that letter, and that person will give the letter to the recipient. But in case of email writing, there is no such thing. The message is delivered directly to the recipient. There is no in between. There is nobody who can get that message, because the mail will be opened by the recipient, and recipient will have one password. Without that password, we cannot open the email. So there is a lot of security in this message. This message is not delivered to somebody else. This message can't be read by anybody else. Only the recipient can receive the message. Only the recipient can open the message and read the message. Nobody else can see this message. This is the first advantage, that the message is conveyed directly. The next advantage is it is the cheapest means of communication. It is the, when I say it is the cheapest means of communication. For example, if you want to send an email from Punjab to any state or any city in America, if you are sending a letter, it will take a lot of time and it will cost you a lot of money also. But if you are sending an email in America also, from India to America also, it will take as much time only as it takes from one city to another city. So it saves a lot of time and it is the cheapest means of communication. You only need internet connection. And for email, how much money do you need, or how much time do you need? You will need only 1 minute. In less than 1 minute, you will be able to send the email, and in less than 1 minute, the recipient will be able to open the mail. So it will not cost much money. How much internet it can use? It can not cost a person more than 1 rupee, even less than 1 rupee. This is the second advantage of email. Third is it is easy to use. Then fourth, it is very fast. It's very fast. Then next advantage is it is environmental friendly. It does not use any paper. It uses electronic media. So you can see the email on the screen only. You can read the mail on the screen only. No need to get the printout. Printout is required only when you want to write something on it. That's all. Otherwise, no need to take the printout also. So it saves a lot of paper. This is environment friendly. The next important thing or interesting thing is that you can include some attachments also in the email. Suppose you want to add some diagrams, you want to add some pictures, you want to add some demonstrations or illustrations or any chart. You can do that. This is very much possible in email writing. There are so many other advantages also through emails. Of email writing, it increases productivity, it saves a lot of time, it saves a lot of money, and it is the quickest means of communication. Children, now let's talk about the disadvantages. We have already talked about the definition of email writing. We have talked about the advantages of email writing. Now let's talk about the disadvantages. What can be the disadvantages? The disadvantage is that it can carry a virus, right? Some emails, sometimes hackers can send the virus also, so it can harm your computer also. Then the next disadvantage is that sometimes people they can send unwanted emails to the receiver. It can also create a lot of problem for the other person. Then the next disadvantage is that without internet connection, we cannot operate the email. So the first requirement of this email is that we require internet connection. And one more disadvantage is there, that in email writing you cannot attach very big files. Large files cannot be attached in email. Only small files, small what you say, documents, pictures, they can be attached. But anyways, looking at the advantages and disadvantages of email writing, we can easily say that email writing still remains it still remains one of the best means of written communication, because there are so many advantages, and this type of communication is very popular. One very interesting fact is that the email remains saved in your email box. You can see the email at any time. You can open the email at any corner of the world. So if you have saved your documents in the email, you don't need to carry a laptop, or you don't need to carry the things in the pen drive. They may get lost. But if you have all the things in your email, you can have the access to your important documents at any time, at any part of the world. So these are some of the disadvantages. We have discussed the meaning of email, advantages of email, and disadvantages of email. Now, children, we are going to see what are the things which we should keep in mind. What are the points, important points to be kept in mind while making an email? Let's see those points. Or you can say features of a good email. Features of a good email. Children, the first feature of email is it should have the basic structure. What is the basic structure of an email? It should have subject line, greeting, email body, like we say, na, body of the letter. Similarly, we have body of the email also, body, or you can say content of the email. Then we have a closing remark. Things which make the basic structure of an email, these things should be there in this piece of writing. So the first is email should. Can you see the board?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's continue. Email should have the basic children. I have the PDF of this topic, email writing, where all the advantages, disadvantages, features, definition, format, and one sample email is there. I will send you in the group after the class is over. Email should have the main, should have the basic structure. That is subject line, greeting, email body. Whatever we do in the class, whether we are doing any poem, any grammar topic or writing topic, or something from literature, children, let me tell you, I do some research before that. It is not the product of one book only. We have our own book, that is PSCP book. I see that book also. Then there are so many videos on the internet. There are some grammar and writing books. I refer to them also. Whatever important and common points are there, I come up with those points. Don't think that I just teach you without any preparation. Now your duty is also there. You should also do lot of hard work so that you can get maximum knowledge from the teacher and you are able to produce the best result for you as well as for your family, for your teachers, for the school as well. So email should have the basic structure. What is that? Subject line, greeting, email body, and closing. This is the first requirement of a good email. The second thing is it should be brief and to the point. It should be brief and to the point. My dear students, the email is also of many types. It can be a formal email. It can be an informal email also. You can write an email to your friend also. You can send an email to your school also, any office, any industry. So different types of emails are there, and the format will also, I mean, the language will also. For formal email, you will use formal language. For informal emails, you will use language. Parents to your family members, brothers, sisters, siblings, to your relatives, where you are not required to use formal language. That is called informal writing. And formal writing is when you are communicating with the higher authorities, like you are communicating with your teacher, with the principal of the school or the chairman of any company. At that time, you need to have formal language. Here, in informal emails, you don't need to require formal language. The next important point is appropriate salutations. Appropriate salutations should be used. What do you mean by salutation? Salutation is when you write, dear sir, respected sir, dear father, my dear father, my dear friend. So this is the meaning of salutation. Proper salutation should be there. If you are writing an email to the principal, there you cannot have a formal, you cannot have an informal salutation. There you should be very careful while using the salutation. So appropriate salutations should be used. Next is the most important information should be first. The most important information should be placed first. The most important information should be placed first. Sometimes you need to add some things to explain the important points. They should not come in the beginning. In the beginning, only the main points or the most important points should be there in the beginning. And afterwards, you can use other things to support the main point. Write short and meaningful sentences. Write short and meaningful sentences. Then sixth point is proofreading should be done before pressing the send button. Should be done before pressing the send button. Children, you must have used the email. When you compose the email, then there is a button send, SEND, send. Send means that the email will be delivered to the receiver. But before that, please do the proofreading. In proofreading, what will happen if there are some mistakes in the email? If there is some problem in the email, you can change the wording. You can change that. You can do that correction. So please, proofreading should be done not only before sending the email, whatever you are doing, even when you are in the examination hall also, there also you should do the proofreading before handing over the answer sheet to the examiner. I'll give you a very simple example. Here I want to share my own experience with you. When I was in MA first year, I remember it was a grammar paper. It was the exam of English grammar. I had already done the whole paper. Only a few minutes were left. What happened at that time? My friend asked me the answer of some question. In grammar section, we have the pronunciation part also. Phonetic transcription is there. My friend asked me, what is the phonetic transcription of this? To my surprise, I told him that this question is not there in the paper, in the question paper. Then he told me, I mean, with the signal only, he told me that you should check the question paper. Then I checked the question paper, and to my shock, that question was there. And you know, that question was carrying 8 marks. It was carrying 8 marks. Fortunately, I knew that question. And see how I was able to save myself at that time. Then I did that question very quickly. From that time, I became convinced. I made it a habit that every time I do anything, I should do the proofreading. I should check the documents before handing the documents to anybody. Suppose if I am making the award list, before sending the award list to the other teacher, I check all the details, whether the marks are matching with the roll number and whether the roll number is matching with the name of the child or not. So these are very little things which you should keep in mind. While doing the paper, you can have so many mistakes. But if you are doing the proofreading, if you are checking the things on your own, you might find so many mistakes on your own. So make it a habit to do the proofreading whenever you are doing anything. Before handing, before doing the final submission, you must do the proofreading. You must check. What happens while checking, you will be able to find out so many mistakes of your own. So this is the importance of proofreading. Proofreading should be done before pressing the send button.
Excuse me, sir.
Let's.
Sir, 5
Yes.
minutes are left.
Okay, don't worry. We'll continue.
Yes.
And when the time is over, we'll continue in the other class.
Okay, sir.
I hope the first 6 features of a good email are clear to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Kushpreet is there in the group.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the next important feature of an email. Children, email writing will be there in your exams for 3 marks, but in email you will have an option also. Newspaper explanation of newspaper headline and news and email. But this email is more scoring than newspaper headline.
Yes, sir.
Next point is avoid using long or unclear avoid using long or unclear and ambiguous sentences. Ambiguous means confusing sentences. The sentences whose meaning can be different. 2-3 meanings can be there. Confusing sentences. Avoid using ambiguous sentences. Use simple, clear sentences. Avoid using exclamation marks. Avoid using exclamation marks. Now, important point here, avoid using different fonts. Font is, what is the font? Font is style of writing,
Style.
right? Style of writing. Children, this is all in the features of a good email. These things should be kept in mind while making an email. So far, we have done the definition of email, advantages of email, disadvantages of email, and features of a good email. Now, only two things are left. What is the format of email writing? And one example. That we'll do in the next class. This is the end of the class. Thank you very much.